My name is Sky, and I got fired on a Tuesday. Not because I was late, not because I missed a deadline. I got fired because of something I said in a meeting, something I genuinely thought was completely harmless. And here's the part that still keeps me up at night. HR had been building a case against me for 3 months before they pulled the trigger. Every casual comment, every innocent remark, every venting session in the break room, documented, filed, weaponized. So today, I'm going to show you the 10 phrases that HR quietly uses to build a case against you. Phrases that sound completely normal, phrases you probably said this week, and I'm going to show you exactly what they actually hear when you say them. Because once you know how the trap works, you stop walking into it. Phrase 1. That's not my job. I said it casually, but HR documented it as refusal to collaborate, poor team attitude. I said this to a coworker who kept dumping tasks on me. I was right, it literally wasn't my job. Didn't matter. The moment it reached HR, it became, Sky has a rigid attitude and is resistant to organizational needs. That phrase alone got flagged in my next performance review. A better way to say it is, that falls outside my current scope. Let's figure out the right person for it. Phrase 2. Everyone agrees with me. I said it confidently in a meeting. HR documented it as pressure tactics, intimidation of peers. You're trying to build credibility. HR sees a potential bully. Especially if one of those everyone people later complains they felt pressured, you are now in a completely different conversation. Here's how I should have said it. A few of us have talked about this and we're aligned. Phrase 3. I was just joking. I said it laughing, but HR wrote, inappropriate workplace humor, history of dismissing complaints. This one is brutal, because the joke doesn't even have to be offensive. If someone didn't laugh, if anyone in that room went to HR, your just joking suddenly sounds like you're minimizing their discomfort. And that actually makes things worse. What actually works is, if the room didn't laugh, just move on. Phrase 4. Between you and me, I leaned in and said it quietly. And on the other side, HR wrote, engaging in private workplace communications, potential coalition building. Every time I said this, I thought I was venting privately. What I didn't realize is, there is no between you and me at work. The moment that conversation gets forwarded, reported, repeated, you've just created a paper trail and a witness. A better rule is, don't say anything you wouldn't put in a company-wide email. Phrase 5. I've been here longer than, I said it with confidence. And HR wrote, entitlement, potential age discrimination risk. You think you're building credibility. HR hears entitlement. And sometimes, something even worse, the start of an age-related liability. That one sentence can shift how they see you overnight. A better way to say it is, based on my experience with this process. Phrase 6. That's just how things work here. I shrugged and said it casually. And on the other side, HR wrote, resistant to change, reinforcing toxic culture. I know, I said this to a new hire who was frustrated with a process. I thought I was being helpful, but to leadership, I just became the person defending broken systems. Suddenly, I'm the problem, not the process. So a better way to say it is, that's been the approach, but there might be room to improve it. Phrase 7. No one ever told me that. I said it, completely confused. And then HR pulled up an email. And just like that, my face dropped. Because what they heard was, I don't pay attention to communications. And almost always, there's an email, a memo, a Slack message that technically informed you. Now you look unaware and defensive. A better way to handle it is by saying, I may have missed that. Can you point me to where it was shared? Phrase 8. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I said it in a meeting, trying to get backup. And on the other side, organizing dissent, potential group grievance risk. You think you're building support. See someone rallying people against management. And the moment you say that, they start identifying who the others are, quietly. A smarter move is raise your concerns solo and stick to facts. Phrase 9. I was never given the resources to succeed. I said it calmly. And on the other side, HR wrote, externalizing, not accountable, pre-litigation language. Pre-litigation language, that's what they call it. The moment you start framing it as the company failing you, it sounds like someone preparing for legal action. So what do? They start building their defense immediately. The smarter way to phrase it is, I could deliver stronger results with clearer support on X and Y. Can we talk about that? Phrase 10. I know my rights. I said it once, and the entire room went silent. HR closed the laptop and looked up slowly. This one is interesting, because you should know your rights. But the moment those words leave your mouth in a workplace conflict, you have changed the temperature of the entire room. You are no longer an employee having a conversation. You are now a risk. And companies quietly manage risks out. The smarter move? Know your rights privately. And get advice outside the workplace, not inside it. Here's what I had to learn the hard way. HR is not your friend. HR protects the company. That doesn't make them evil. It just means you need to be as strategic about what you say as they are about what they document. Every phrase I just showed you, I said at least one of them. Some of them, multiple times. And each one was another brick in a wall they built around me before I even knew construction had started. If this video helped you, share it with someone at work you actually trust. Not the whole team, just one person who needs to hear this. Because this is the stuff nobody tells you when you get hired. They give you an employee handbook, but they never give you this. Subscribe if you want more such insights.